see. All right.
Right on.
Cool. So I will start off with an intro question, sort of like, hey, tell me a little bit about your background. What do you currently do? And then from there, we'll roll into the other two questions. So if you're just like the podcast, I'm asking, what's your background basically? And then go from there. And I want to shoot for anywhere between 6 to 7 minutes, I think, total. It's a good shot.
Okay.
I've seen at least the 10-minute mark on LinkedIn is a little bit much, but I think 6 to 7, like, somebody's got the attention span for that. That's
right
for
on.
sure.
Perfect.
All right. All right, everybody. Welcome to the latest LinkedIn Edition interview. Today's guest is Mark Cathcart. How's it going today, Mark?
Going great. Thanks,
Excellent
Luke.
to
Thanks
hear.
for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your background.
I'm the vice president at AVRS. I'm the VP of marketing, sales, contracts, and the account executives out in the field.
Awesome. So my first question that I have for you is, why do you study people and not marketing?
People are the essence of everything that we do. Marketing is about people. Sales is about people. Life is about people. Therefore, instead of studying marketing, you've got to understand people first. And once you understand people and understand how people act, interact, and work with software systems and other people and communicate together, once you understand that, you're going to have everything you need to become a great marketer.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really interesting because a lot of people I feel like they go, oh, this kind of product, everybody's going to like it right away. And they don't understand that actually getting your product into somebody's hands involves like an emotional pull. It involves a much more personal pull. Have you seen that in your personal experience?
Absolutely, yes. People buy on emotion and justify with logic.
Mm-hmm.
And people buy using their amygdala in the brain. And that's the old croc brain is how Oren Klaff describes it in Pitch Anything, a book that I've read. And it's a fascinating book. And again, that book is about sales, but it's not about sales. It's about people. Mm-hmm. And so people make a lot of decisions with their amygdala, but then justify with the neocortex. Mm-hmm. And that's the front part of the brain. And so again, people buy an emotion and justify with logic. And if dealing with emotional beings, which people are on a very regular basis, we've got to understand what are the triggers that grab and pull those emotions, and what are those triggers that get people to say yes to anything. And the other thing too is I think sometimes people feel, oh, this is manipulation, and it's not. It's not manipulation because people have been programmed in their lives, and it's not you and me that do that. It's their parents, it's your friends, it's how you grew up, it's the people you're around on a regular basis. And actually, marketing and understanding people is more about understanding the programs that are already installed, not installing new ones, but understanding the ones that are already installed. And again, I think that this can be used ethically, and it can be used in ways that are not so ethical. But I choose to use it in ways that are very ethical. And if you're always leading with value when you're selling a product or doing anything, and your product is bringing value to the world and to the marketplace, you're going to be fairly compensated for that. And I believe that understanding what those triggers are allow us to support moving that product into their hands in a way that's beneficial to them.
Yeah. One example I like to use often is think of GoPro. When you think of GoPro, you don't think of dinky camera made out of plastic and glass made in China. You think about adventure, being outdoors, surfing, having fun. It's like the product is a dinky little camera that's made out of plastic in China.
That's right.
Yeah. So the understanding that perspective is that they're marketing that value to you. You just happen to have this, dinky little camera that's made out of plastic and glass.
That's right. Well, think about that too. GoPro is a great example. It's a dinky little product made out of plastic and glass, but we don't see it that way today. But in the beginning, think way back when GoPro said, hey, we need to get these products into people's hands, and there's value associated with it, and there's no doubt that people see value in GoPro today. That's without saying. But back when they were trying to start, and back when they were getting going, they had to prove this value in some way. And again, what were they working on? Think about it. You watch those GoPro videos and you get an emotional rush.
Oh yeah,
you're
big
thinking,
time. You're like, I want to do that.
Yeah, I want to do that. even though we probably can't in most cases. But bottom line is again, they're really tapping into that amygdala, that old way, that old brain, the old way of thinking, and then again we're justifying with the neocortex. Yeah. So they're tapping right into those programs that are already set.
Oh yeah, at an all-star level. So in order to tap into those programs, you've got to test marketing. And in the podcast, we talked a lot about testing marketing. And I feel like this is something that's often overlooked by marketers. They'll go, "Oh, we're going to do this. It's going to work great," and then they end up realizing it's a complete failure. How has testing benefited your personal experience in being a professional marketer?
Yeah, so everybody has an opinion, Luke, and everybody's a marketer today, right?
Yeah.
You know, your mom tells you how to market things. Your boss tells you how to market things. If you've got one, you're an entrepreneur, which is great. You know, everybody has some feedback. And then there's also the HIPPO. You ever heard that term before? It's just the highest paid person's opinion. And so, and that person is usually the one that wins, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, and again, the good news is this, that testing has come a long way. There's softwares out there that can really help you do really quick A/B split testing. Mm-hmm. But, you know, think about 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, there weren't all these softwares. And so testing had to evolve. But back when, you know, there weren't all these softwares to do all this testing, you know, one of the things that I had to do and understand is how do I navigate through a CEO who thinks that, you know, boy, this worked at the last company I was at, you know, this is going to work here. And, you know, and in my mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Willing to, but the whole point is let's test that. Let's test it. And so the testing it really drives everything. I was just sitting down with somebody the other day and they were talking about this software that they'd already put $500,000 into.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, well, how many customers have you talked to? Have you heard of MVP, the minimum viable product? And you know, have you done any testing? Mm-hmm. And he said, we're just getting to that. And I was like, oh man, you kind of missed the boat.
Yeah.
You could have saved $250,000 or more just by getting an MVP out there, testing. And that goes for marketing too. So, you know, now you've got a product and you're thinking to yourself, okay, how do we best get this out there into the marketplace and into people's hands? Mm-hmm. You've got to test. If you don't have a testing program, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing the company a disservice, and you're going to end up in places you probably don't want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that iterative process, I think, makes the complete difference between a success and a failure. And the ability, it allows you speed in developing the right product. So speed plus less money and all these other values that come with it. And it's interesting you mentioned MVP and the lean model. It works in developing a business as well as developing marketing. And I think I've seen the same approach taken to design. So I think that sort of mindset and skill set is something that needs to be dynamic with an entrepreneur. If you're a coder, a finance person, or the product guy, it matters on multiple levels.
That's correct. Absolutely.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, Mark, thank you so much for being an amazing guest on the Cult of Startup LinkedIn edition. Where can people get in contact with you?
At markcathcart@gmail.com.
Excellent. And I will tag you, of course, in the post on this. And thank you very much, man. And I'll link out to the podcast as well. See ya.
Thanks.
Bye. Awesome. That was great.
Cool.
So right around